This is going to be going over a couple of fast clear teams for episode 5. I'm going to be doing it in Chase 2, but this will work on some of the other stages. It kind of depends on which team you're using. The other stages I thought weren't that bad to farm were Chapter 8S, 8, 7, 5, and 3. You can do the other ones, there's just some extra stuff that you'll need, which we'll talk about it later. It also does vary a bit depending on which team you're using. Let's go ahead and take a look at the teams. So for the first team, it's just Straze plus WSchuri. With the new Warfare set, you can make Straze S2 or S3, S2 on every single wave. It's pretty sick. There's no like elemental advantage, disadvantage RNG, no debuff RNG, and it's very fast, 45-second clear. Very, very nice. Plus you do so much damage that you can have WSchuri hold the EXP artifact, as you'll get bonus stigma out of it. Very, very nice. The hard thing, of course, is you need Warfare set, and I don't think you need like super insane gear, but you do need at least like decent quality gear. And then, of course, Straze is an ML5. In case you can't like gear it or you're missing an artifact or something, there is another version of this where you just use Vildred, and Vildred adds extra AoE damage, which lets you clear everything. And it's a different Straze with much less damage. And then the old team is Vivian plus Bellona. In case you don't have Straze, then you can run this team, which works for the most part. It's not going to work on any stages with like fire heroes because of elemental disadvantage and whatnot, but it still works fine for the most part. If you get all of your death breaks resisted, whatever, that's life. I think depending on when it gets resisted, you're probably still fine. But let's go ahead and take a look at the stats for the first team. So this is my backup Straze, so I don't have any attack percent imprints on him because he's my second one. So keep that in mind when you're looking at like the gear and stuff, which I'll show in a bit. You want close to 150 speed. WSchuri gives you 10 speed from his imprint, and it's just so you outspeed the waves more consistently. It's actually kind of fine even if you get outsped here and there. So if you're like 142 speed or something, you're probably not going to die. It should be fine. This just makes your runs a bit faster if you can afford the speed for it. Of course, 100% crit chance. And then we have almost 5k attack with 325-ish crit damage. This is pretty close to the minimum. You can, of course, like drop some attack, have more crit damage. This is just what I have here. You're definitely going to need a ZE, so you can get the extra turn after killing something with S3. And then either a plus 30 Benimaru's Tachi or Strike of Aspiration for the attack buff is going to be the highest damage boost overall. If you cannot, like if you don't have a plus 30 Strike of Aspiration or Benimaru's Tachi, then we just go Daydream Joker and then you use the Vildred team, which I'll show later, and that will still be a pretty solid clear. So here's the gear on my Straze, and these pieces are like pretty good. I think like this chest is probably one of the worst pieces here, just because I have like one rule that's not doing anything. But keep in mind that I'm missing 21% attack from this, so you could like pretty much subtract a bit of average equipment score because of all the attack that I'm missing. Most people would have the imprints here, but this is just a relative idea of what you need. Just keep in mind you'd have a lot more attack for most people. Now let's go ahead and take a look at WSchuri. So I have him on the EXP artifact, and if you like need the damage, then just go Daydream Joker. But because you don't really need that much damage, you could definitely skip the Daydream Joker and just kill with like your base S3 and no damage boosting artifact. I have him on Destro Torrent, kind of just like random pieces that I had left over. Like, I mean, this is the Epic Dash boots. Just try and get the damage needed for the EXP artifact, just because it's free stigma. So let's get a timer going, and we can take a look at how long this takes. Oh, also, the other two slots. So I already have my EXP artifact on WSchuri, and you can only have one of them. The strongest effect gets applied, so you might as well friendship farm the other two slots, which for me, I'm going to put in Lycus area here, and then let's put Hellion Lua in the other one. And then just checking that they have the artifacts, yep. And we can go take a look. So the tankier mobs on this wave are the little tree guys here. If you can kill them with your S2, then you're good for the rest of the stage. You're pretty much done. So now WSchuri takes his turn. So nice and clear, like 44, 45 second clear. Very, very nice. Now for the second team, this is the one with a lower damage Straze. So we've got Vildred here as extra damage. Let's take a look at everybody's stats. Here is Straze. This is my main one. I'm going to revert his gear later, but we still got Warfare set. Didn't give him a Torrent set. His EE, of course, and we're using Daydream Joker, so for anybody who doesn't have Tachi or Strike of Aspiration, this is the one to use. You're going to want a bit more speed, and then besides that, just like, I gave him really scuffed gear. We don't have Torrent set, of course. You want speed just because with a third unit, you need to separate your speeds a little bit more so that you don't get speed RNG'd. We can see like there's a ton of wasted stats here. This should not be very hard to hit. Just make sure you have enough speed. You do have 2 speed imprints coming in as well, so this is actually a 185 speed Straze. Next up is Vildred, who's got 10 speed from WSchuri, so he's 170. Out of speed RNG range of the Straze and set up to go second. We've got just pretty much just give him damage with a bit of speed. You want the reset EE. This is especially because when you're using Daydream Joker Straze, you're not going to be able to kill the waves with just S3 into S2, so you're going to need to make sure Vildred can S3 every single wave, and then any damage boosting artifact, I'm just using Elia's Knife here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then WSchuri on the same build, but I have him on Daydream Joker, just because with Straze not having the attack buff, you don't do as much damage. So we're using Daydream Joker to make up for that damage loss. And then you could honestly have less damage on WSchuri, but it doesn't really matter. Speed-wise, just make sure he doesn't cut the Vildred. So we're getting... Vildred's technically 170. We're getting 12 from Vildred, so this is 158. Out of speed RNG range, we are okay. I'm going to put in my Lightness area, who I swapped over to the EXP artifact, just because we don't have enough damage on this team for WSchuri to hold it. So let's go and I'll put up a timer. We can go take a look. You can see a lot less damage coming in from Straze due to lack of attack buff. So yeah, about 1 minute and 5 seconds. It takes like 20 seconds longer, and there's probably honestly other ways to set this up. Because, like, I mean, we're using the Warfare set on Straze. There's probably some other units you could run besides Vildred. Maybe give, like, Straze attack buff naturally. There's definitely a bunch of ways to do this. Vildred was just the one I chose to use. So let's reset the timer, move it off the screen. Take a look at the final version of this team comp, which is just the Bellona plus Vivian team. I'm going to put in my extra units now. Okay, so first up, let's take a look at Bellona. For Bellona, you're going to want her pretty fast, like 230s-ish. You want to make sure she goes before Vivian, but your Vivian also needs to be really fast, which is a thing. Besides that, just give her damage, and I'm giving her Portrait. Any sort of damage-boosting artifact works fine. Like, you probably don't want your Symbol on Bellona, but something like Symbol or Victorious Flag, just anything that gives you damage boost will help you clear the waves. For EE, the S3 pushback one I think is probably the best one, just because on some of the other stages the mobs are a bit faster. I think Chase 2 actually has some of the slowest mobs. So you don't need it for Chase 2, but on some of the other stages you might find yourself wanting it. And then we have Vivian. I have her imprinted, but I moved Bellona off of the imprint slot. We have the time matter here, which you do need, and then 220-ish speed, I think, is a good speed to be at, plus the 50% CR push EE. Like I said, your Bellona plus Vivian want to be tuned around each other a bit. Just make sure Bellona goes before Vivian, and you'll probably be okay. I also just realized I don't have my pet, because I don't usually use these teams. I should go ahead and put my pet on all of these. Yeah. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at the team. We have the EXP artifact on Asaria, plus the friendship one on Lua. I'll put up the timer. Okay, that started a full second early, it's okay. So Bellona goes first, and as long as you land one death break here, you are good to go. The odds of you missing all 4 is pretty low. If it does happen, then unlucky. Because even if you miss a death break there, the Vivian S2 extra attack would clear it. So here your Bellona S2 into your Vivian Time Matter boosted S2 will take out the wave. Your S1 into S3 proc. Vivian S3 is back up at this point. Thanks to Time Matter procs. Leo S3, straight into S2. And okay, a bit of wasted time because I didn't turn her skills off, but you would have been done about like 55 seconds normally. So that is just the 3 setups, pretty much. One other thing is, like I mentioned, the other stages. I'm not gonna... Okay, well, let's take a look at it. So we showed Chase 2. This is like the base one. I would say pretty easy to clear overall. This one is a bit annoying. So these guys, all versions of this mob, they go into stealth if you hit them with a crit and their HP is 70% or less. So you need something to like break their stealth. I would say like if they have this mob, it's generally like not even like worth it. You could use like Vildred or some other unit on Warfare set to just try and like break up their thing. For this one on Chapter 9, these Coffin mobs start with Revive buff. Very annoying. All you really have to do for this is just put in like a Sinful Angelica or something. You can also even do it like this and move your damage dealers onto the imprint slot. Just run like an ungeared base speed Sinful Angelica, so you'll have the extinction passive, and that's all you really need. Chapter 8S, pretty easy stage. This one, of course, the Bellona Vivian team is not going to work. All you want is probably like maybe like 5 more speed on Straze, and you're probably fine. Just 5 more speed, so that you, because they feel like the mobs are like a little bit faster than Chase 2. Chapter 8, really easy. This one, the Bellona Vivian team does work here as well. Chapter 7, the boss is a little bit tankier in this one. You can only use the Straze team because this is fire. Just give WSchuri Daydream Joker and you'll be fine. And then Chapter 6, this one I would not even bother. There's like a bunch of stuff here that makes it really annoying. You need a lot more speed on this, and you also need Sinful Angelica because of the revive thing. I think this one's like pretty annoying. These Harpies are, or I guess QBs are really, really fast. And then Chapter 5, same thing. This guy is kind of tanky. Just give WSchuri Daydream Joker. Chapter 4 doesn't have a... Wait, Chapter 4 does have a fight. I actually completely missed this one. Looking at the mobs, I don't think there's like anything that probably would cause trouble. I haven't actually looked at this, I didn't notice it. It looks like there shouldn't be any issues with it. Chapter 3 is easy, nothing to really say about it. This is fire though, so you can't Vivian Bellona it. Chapter 2, this one's fire. I think this one's also really annoying to work with, especially because like the boss is one of these Vanguard things. I would not bother with Chapter 2. And then Chapter 1 also has these little annoying Vanguard scout things. So yeah, that's the entire Episode 5 farming guide. This is like, of course, endgame setups.